Hello, my friends. How are you? It's got just a little bit of the lighting here. Again, it depends on the time of the day, but sometimes the lighting is like so great and so on point, and sometimes it is not. Anyway, welcome to episode 17, reaction to My Hero Academia of season 5. Last episode was cute and fluffy, and we got to focus on the girls, and they were really cute, and they were working hard, and we got to see a little bit of flashbacks, but actually only one that was really pertinent that kind of showed why Uraraka decided to upgrade her suit. And considering, now she has more of a long distance form of attack, which is pretty freaking cool. And now she can do that and try to help save the day that way. And I think that's pretty awesome. She got to, suit is right on time. She got to use that. She got to work with two of her friends to actually, save the day. It's really cool. But I truly do enjoy this. I really like last episode, but last episode also, there was a brief mention from Selkie that he was giving the girls time to play on the beach and barbecue, kind of a moment of reprieve, kind of fun to enjoy. He goes, look, we can't be tensed up. They're not going to move till night, so we have time. There's something else to do. We're going to be patrolling and looking for them. And there's no recon to do any of that, so let the bad guys get tense and paced and kind of exhaust themselves, and we'll have fun and we'll relax. But he also said, it gives them a chance to kind of enjoy these moments, for sure. Because, and this was something that also was referenced clearly to the audience, to us, because it's very clear that that was kind of a moment of reprieve, and now we're going to really, last handful of episodes, really it's going to be boom, 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 boom. It's going to go, 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 not really time to relax or kind of enjoy at least an entire episode that was for the most part pretty fun and kind of lighthearted and fluffy. They were still bad guys, the stakes were so high, but it wasn't too moment, so that was fun and enjoyable to have. Also, it kind of reminds us that even though I don't think Selkie and Ryukyu, I don't think they actually know what's coming. I think the Hero Association has kept it hush-hush from everybody, except for Hawks, and Hawks just trying to found a way to kind of communicate to Endeavor, because Endeavor's the #1 hero, because he trusts them, because they share the same district. And I think because he said I think because of how his blinders are, he might be very difficult. As you see, he would have just, trained Todoroki, trained Shoto, and he would have trained the other boys. Him telling this was his way of no, you need to prepare for war. There's an army that's coming. There's a war that's coming. That's been coming for a while. You've experienced the battles. Now full war is coming with an army and everything. So please, take it seriously and train all 3 of your sidekicks. Just like he started taking it seriously to train Tokiyami. He's very happy to have him literally kind of under his wings. And but with the other heroes, they can kind of sense that things are shifting and changing, so they are also taking it very seriously how to train their students. And because, again, their students do have their provisional license, they are treating them as heroes, allowing them moments to kind of just be kids and have fun, but also definitely treating them as heroes, for sure. And so we get to we do see all these really cool heroes, these good heroes, pretty much prep for what they don't know what's coming next, but they know something's brewing. They can kind of sense it and feel it, and they're putting that energy into their students. What else do I want to add? So it's very clear, based upon kind of what's going on, is that there are heroes that are involved in this liberation army. Now, I suspect some of them who are involved just think it's a good idea, and they don't realize that it's actually the League of Villains who's the head of this organization. And they think that whatever they're about to do, whatever they're planning, is a good thing to save humanity, like that weird guy kind of was saying. And I mentioned this last episode, I think it's Chesterton, G.K. Chesterton, who talks about beware of the tyranny that exists for the good of their people, because it's kind of the worst form of tyranny, for the children, kind of crap like that. I was no, it's all about you and what you want and your power grabbing. It doesn't have anything to do with the people who this program is for, that's for. It's about you getting what you want, having power. And when you kind of and using your, it's kind of interesting because last with the arc with the overhaul, we saw these downtrodden villains, and the same with the other ones, and they're just like, woe was me because of this, because of that, and this is how they became a villain. But what's hilarious is that you parallel that with Mob Psycho 100, where you have some of the same things going on with the 7th Division for Claw, and Reagan's like, that's so stupid. What's wrong with you? What are you, a child? What are you wearing? Like, he basically just ridicules them and saying, you're such a child. Like, these people haven't grown up. And if you kind of pay attention to all of them, a lot of them, they haven't grown up. They are using their childhood as an excuse to do evil. Their pain as an excuse to do evil. Because I'm like, and pain obviously doesn't, pain is still pain, and some of them did have evil done to them. But in the end, if you really start poking at it, you're like, you really just want to do what you want to do. You don't want people to tell you not to do something evil. You want to get away with what you want. You want power. You want to make people hurt. You want revenge. There's no salvation of any kind. So we've seen the League of Villains with their kind of pain and using that pain to kind of do what they want and hurt people, claiming it's for a better society and blah, blah, blah. And then we have these other figures that we really haven't been properly introduced to at all. We see their silhouettes and their outlines, but we don't really know who they are. And so, including this other guy at the end of the last episode. And so the question is, I don't think, so sometimes we would have like parallel storylines. This is happening, but this is also happening at the same time. A little bit of interaction with Overhaul and the League of Villains kind of trying to use Overhaul to get what they want. And Overhaul kind of using the League of Villains to kind of help him get what he wants. But as you can see, kind of at the end of that arc, that Shigaraki didn't care. He wanted what he wanted, he got what he wanted, and he used Overhaul to do that, and then he kind of messed up Overhaul there. And so it kind of showed, that was a moment of evolution for Shigaraki, really kind of stepping into his own as a villain and not really being reliant on All For One. And we got a little taste of All For One earlier this second half of this season, kind of that all of this, what we're seeing is really a repercussion and kind of, of what All For One started a long time ago. And so that's why Deku's quirk has been there's a metaphysical element to it, not just a chemical one, where the past holders of One For All are like, hey, these quirks are coming, they're gonna come when you need them the most. And you've got 7 more quirks, or 6 more quirks coming your way, which is crazy to think about, and a lot for a body to handle. How else was I going with this? But anyway, in terms of the parallel storyline, I don't think it's going to be like other separate. I think there's definitely some weaving, like whoever this guy was, probably an Otheon or whatever the name, the fake country was, is connected with what the League of Villains doing, is connected with the Liberation Army. It's all connected now. There is no, this is happening at the same time, this is happening, but separate from ... Anyway, last episode was really fun, but it also did kind of remind us, like, hey, okay, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. So even a fluffy episode like last episode wasn't filler. It was meant as a reprieve, not only for the characters, but for the audience. Like, here's a whole episode where you can kind of breathe and relax and just truly enjoy it. And because what comes next is going to be heavy and intense, you're not going to really get that moment to breathe again. Maybe small moments within episodes, but not the entire episode, which I'm suspecting. So, can't remember. Oh, and I remember now what this episode is going to be about. It comes back to the boys, of course, because they have, being under Endeavor and being in that district, they're going to have a lot to deal with, and probably poor Hawks and what he's dealing with. I am intrigued by the intro too, where the end of the intro, Hawks takes off and the boys are looking at him. You see his feathers, and then Endeavor's kind of looking away a little bit. So I'm kind of curious about what that kind of means. But this episode is about meeting the whole Todoroki family and kind of getting an idea that Endeavor probably wasn't that great of a family, and the Todoroki family has a lot of problems. And even though Shoto's the son of this really, powerful #1 hero, it's not, I'll say bells and whistles, something in roses, I can't remember what the term is now. But I think Deku got a taste of it in some of the others, because he's trying to, separate himself from his dad. but no one really understands why. I think the other Bakugo and Deku are gonna get a vague idea of like what's really kind of going on. Yeah, anyway, anything else to say? No, that's it. If you're watching YouTube, there's no sound, partial image, keeps the copyright monsters at bay. And that's all I've got to say. So, it's a countdown timer if you want to follow along. Again, you can't miss it. Let's dive in. I guess it's a reminder of winter break work studies. So, yeah. So I'm going to assume it runs from, I said, after the new year to maybe a week or two. Maybe they have an extended winter break like some colleges do. But this internship runs through the school year, though, doesn't it? Yeah. It just started after. I'll be even closer to, yeah. We still have to remind that was his ultimate goal. Like, right at the beginning. I keep forgetting, like, where we started. Where we started and where we are now is insane. They haven't even finished their first year yet. That's how insane it is. Again, we have kind of these ruined-esque, you know, city. The boys tired. And you see their, you know, their, I don't know if he's sweating or crying, Bakugo there, but you see his, like, their breast indicating it's, you know, it's a cold year, cold season. I have a Bakugo and a Deku one. I kind of want an upgraded Bakugo and a Deku one, and I also want Todoroki. I don't have Todoroki yet. Carousel instead of carousel. Sometimes how they pronounce things is kind of funny to me. I'm sure that it's reversed too. Sometimes how we pronounce like certain other words is kind of funny. And the boys falling behind on Endeavor's kind of flames there. Again, I like how it changed from All Might to Endeavor. And there's that other guy in the suit, and then there's how, you know, Shigaraki's definitely, we haven't seen much of him, but he's definitely still a major player here. Okay, cool. Establishing a timeline. 1 week has passed. He's just stealing it, thinking there's something good in there, but in reality, it's probably just paperwork. So he needs to learn, yeah, how to do his, like, armor-piercing shot as a consistent... Too late, he won. He's making you chase him on purpose. Another hit and run. Jeez. I wonder how many hit and runs actually happen in a city. I bet they've been playing catch up all day. He's right. They need to pace themselves. He still doesn't quite look at them. He always like looks. He looks at them a couple times directly, but he keeps looking like away off in the distance a lot. I wonder because he's not quite comfortable with that, or because it's Shoto. No, but as you go to strive to catch up to the person who's beating you by miles, you'll end up getting faster in time as well, or becoming better at whatever you're doing. Her fingers. Meta Liberation War. Mm. 100,000's a lot of people, man. Again, he has this giant, like, I guess, what's the word? Traditional Japanese, like, mansion. But it fits him so well that he would have, like, a traditional setup and not, like, a normal house. The hell should rock your family. Even he's aware of what he's done. Hmm. Hmm. And there's Toya. Yeah, look how harsh and kind of mean he is. Yeah, he really was. She cracked and hurt him. She just saw that red half and just mentally cracked. Now those are important flashbacks to have, not just space filler ones. Yeah. Though Deku did make him use the fire. So she's the oldest, isn't she? And he shaved. I didn't quite realize he shaved. Take a long, long time though. It's only the beginning. Didn't realize he had shaved until now. He's kind of big too, almost like his dad. He could be as big as his dad. So Toya was the eldest. It's still gonna take time, Swain. It takes everybody to participate. Mm. And I'm going to assume with her staying in there that he's been more or less, I don't know quite how the Japanese health system works, but I'm assuming he's been paying for her to be there. He did? I didn't realize he did shave. Okay, maybe we're having a little bit of too much flashbacks in this now. At first I was like, oh no, this is really important. Now it's like, now we're getting a little too reminiscent. Hmm. Hmm. Right, because the idea is he's going to be a symbol of strength, not necessarily peace. Hmm. Hmm. Dang. Okay, so that was, even though there's a lot of flashbacks in that section, they actually, again, with some exceptions, were very, very important. They're still doing that space floor stuff, and I don't like it. Our last episode was fun and fluffy and a good breather, but this episode's kind of bringing us back into like, hey, we got some serious stuff to go through. Also, while we're dealing with this whole Liberation Army and all of that, he's still working through some stuff too. So I like that they are not only moving forward with the redemption arc, they didn't rush it, they didn't zoom to get it done, and they're taking their time because this is going to take time. And he can't force any of his children to forgive him. I don't even know if the daughter's quite forgiven him or the mom. But it will take longer for the boys to forgive him because a lot of times they were so young. There's probably a part of them that also wishes they were older or stronger to protect their moms. There's so much going on inside of them, and it just kind of makes sense emotionally speaking. Maybe why the daughter and Ray, the mom, or a little bit more congenial, not necessarily forgive him yet, but are more congenial and everything and trying to like be peacekeepers. Whereas the boys are just, they're not going to be like that at all. So it's kind of very, very fitting. So Toya was the eldest, and people again are running with the theory that Dobby has to be Toya. And you would think that if he was, Endeavor would recognize his own child's quirk, unless Dobby, because he has jacked up his face and dyed and probably dyed his hair a lot. And in addition to that, I wonder if he did have red flames like his dad, and he learned to increase that heat somehow and produce blue flames instead to kind of mask that power a little bit. And that's just running again on the theory. People are like, yeah, Toya, like, they kind of are like, yeah, that's true. And I guess there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that kind of points to that. I don't know if it is or not. If it's been confirmed in the manga, don't tell me. I don't want to know it. I'd rather learn via the anime. Is there anything else to add? I know I have my little stretchy seal. No, that's kind of it. So there hasn't been much else to say. So there's a lot going on, but I do like how we're kind of being eased back into kind of the intensity of everything. Not actually with a huge fight, but a reminder: a fight is coming, a war is coming. And we're also dealing with this. So I do appreciate a good redemption arc. And good redemption arcs take time. One of my very favorite redemption arcs on live action, television, is Faith from Buffy. I was always irritated that Faith wasn't in a lot of the show. Because I like Eliza Dushku a lot. And even though she's okay as a lead, and even though every time actually, no, she's a pretty good lead, actually. She's a really good lead. But her shows keep getting canceled, which sucks. But what was irritating was that I just kind of was mad over like why they have to make her bad, and then I was mad they didn't have her in the show more often. I really actually liked her redemption arc. It made sense. It took time. The way she paid penance for things that she had done. um, for choices that she had made. It was actually one of my favorite arcs, in all seriousness. And this is starting to become one of my other favorite arcs. There's very few redemption arcs that I'm like, oh yeah, it's a good arc. But this one's one of them. I really like it. It's cool. And what I really like is that you got to meet Endeavor, and he was awful for a while. And then you got to watch kind of things crumble around him and kind of go, huh, and watch the beginning of it. So this is really cool. I'm really, truly enjoying this for sure. God, it's not hot. Really? Dang. Oh, Gotcha clearly hates Mori. Blazing her. I love his hair with his mask pushed up. It's so cute. Dang, again, this guy's got money. Training facilities, lodgings for psychics, but also, I guess, that's an indication of how busy they are if that they're all living together. Kind of like almost like full-time paid volunteer firefighters. Or paid firefighters versus volunteer firefighters, which might be at the station, but usually are home. No, it's like... Yeah, they're pretty beat up and tired looking. So he's got to learn how to use his ice to kind of become frictionless and his fire to push himself. That's rope. They're not using steel cables. They usually use steel cables for that. I just occurred to me, this is probably a really gigantic district, and that's why, kind of like a huge, super busy city. That's why he's constantly on the move. Probably millions of people living there. Hiding in the everyday. No, you have to learn and create that vision. Again, no matter what work job you're at, like the job that I'm at, not as dangerous as this. But you learn to kind of look at people and realize, oh, they probably need this, they probably need that, by the look on their face, where they're looking, things like that. It takes time. And so what Baku needs to do is learn his armor-piercing shot, but keep it constant, so he can kind of move like him, instead of going pop, 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 pop. He can go. And then Deku just gotta get faster. And that's the point. You're never gonna catch up with him, especially after a week. He won't look at them, but he listens. Ooh, the music. It's cool. Oh my gosh, my computer's about to die. Jeez Louise. I'm just looking at it going, oh my gosh! That's the bang. To meet my friends. He's such a pain. Oh my gosh, I can't see. Ah! Still has a hard time in front of pretty girls. He's just used to Tsuni Araka. Bakugo. Bakugo. I like he just took his shoes off and moved for. Why what? Is he mad at his house where he lives? Hmm. Ooh, looks for Yumi. Oh, that's so cute. So she's an adult. I like again, Deku's wearing his little tie, Bakugo is not. Everybody else is sitting up straight. He's like slumped. Oh my gosh, you see muttering about. I know. Ooh, I'm so hungry. It looks so delicious. Oh, yeah, calling him Endeavor, not his father. Nope, he didn't realize it. Dang, the tension! His shirt literally says front and back. Oh my gosh, these two boys. Hmm. She's an adult, but she's also an unmarried adult, too. Hmm. I like how Endeavor's washing the dishes. It's kind of cute. I like how he's like yelling, but he's also whispering. I forgot he listened in on that. Dang! Good reminder. It's true. Oh, yes, here we go. Probably the only one who calls him dad. Hmm. Hmm. I like how she like writes her letters. It's very pretty. Ooh. Oh, wow. Yeah, but Endeavor will be there too. Has her mom's eyes. Oh, that transition was so good! Oh, so good. I still love how Endeavor was doing the dishes. Just kind of everybody hates doing the dishes, so it is a moment of humbling. Fuck. I love Bakugo for these moments because he's just trying to break the tension. He thinks you're getting it from. Oh, this is so good. Oh, look at him. Oh, they can hear everything too. Jeez. Is that food for him? Whose food is that for? Is that Toya there? No, who is it? That is. He was white-haired. Wait, then who was the redhead in the courtyard? We actually got to see what baby Toya looks like. Now, usually I know the shrines are for the dead. And that's the last picture he must have had of Toya, that school picture. So, he's been gone for a long time. That's a middle school uniform, right? Or can that also be a high school? He looks like he's middle school there. I bet that was a middle school uniform for sure. Toya, in essence, has been gone for a long, long time. Dang! Oh my gosh, that was our first look at him, at least anime-wise. That was cool, but it's also interesting that even though it's a big house, they all could hear him. Natsu, his reaction to that. So, I think Natsu's holding on. I think he doesn't want to forgive his dad. So, I think in time he might learn to, but we'll see. I don't know. Someone might say oh, his hair doesn't fall the way that Toya's does. But also keep in mind, if its hair is it's heavily dyed hair, doesn't move quite correctly like normal hair does. Ooh, jeez. Ew, that's kind of gross. That was weird. It was like he was an exit sign or something. As interacting. Oh my gosh, there's two it's back to back to back. Oh, grabs Natsu. Dang. Yes! That was cool. Oh, jeez, I should have watched those episodes back to back. Jeez Louise. I might. We'll see what happens. I was planning on doing some Hibike Euphonium tonight, but I might end up just moving on to get that 18th episode recorded, and then we can go from there. This episode was good, and even though it was still with a lot of flashback, so much flashback this season, it's ridiculous. They are stretching out this footage, no kidding, at all. But the episode's really good. I love this kind of quiet. Last episode was fun and fluffy, but not too. Wasn't a waste of time. You had some plot issues and some character moments, really nice character moments. Same thing with this episode too. But this one dealt more with the subplot of Endeavor's redemption arc and his relationship with his family. So you see Natsu's dealing with a lot of stuff right now. A lot of these episodes have been back to back, the same day or back to back in the same days. So you see Endeavor dealing a lot with what he's going through. And he asks a very good question. What can I do for my family after all this time? And maybe he can't do much for his family in the now, but what he does now can affect them as they get older and can affect their kids if they ever have kids. For Yumi is probably in her mid-20s, maybe late 20s, I bet. I bet she's now around the same age. So she's still a single Pringle. I don't know what the average marriage age is, but she might be because of everything with her family and her dad, because she's taking care of everything. She might not ever get married. Natsu is probably focused on school, so I don't know about his future. I'm not sure about. Todoroki's too young. But, it'd be really difficult to be the son-in-law to Endeavor. I don't think for Yumi especially, but what he could do for them is that help her work through her things by just doing what he's doing, and then she in time will learn to be in a place where maybe she could get married and have kids and have a legacy as well. We'll see, but we have some villains now. I'm trying to figure out, I'm looking at that guy at the end. He looks like he was leaving a place, maybe. And he was being let out by police officers, like he was exiting something. Or maybe maybe that was the entrance to, like, Endeavor's complex, and they were he was just kind of looking at them and talking to them. But this crazy guy figures out where he lives and goes after them. And he can manipulate stuff very similar. I don't, Eraserhead can with although I think it has to do with his quirk and less to do with the material. But he goes after Natsu, who probably he can't probably, as a citizen, he's not allowed, and clearly has no interest in being a hero, he's not allowed to use his quirk. And if he doesn't really utilize it very often, he might not know how to use it very well. Based upon his hair, you can assume that, he, what's what I'm looking for? He has ice powers, but if Toya is Dabi, Toya had white hair and ice powers. I mean, fire power, so I don't know. It's interesting. This was a good episode, though. It wasn't super heavy, like, plot heavy, which means only a handful of episodes left. The last few episodes of the season are going to be heavy as heck. I don't know. Or they're saving the big Liberation Army moment and all that stuff for the next season. And they're just simply building. Which means the first half of the next season is going to be intense. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how the season ends. But this episode was nice. And it had, again, good, strong character moments. And there's nothing wrong with those in a show. People might think that you have to have constant plot moving and this and that. And you do see that in the background with last episode and this episode, within the background mentioning of bad guys and the Middle Liberation Army and the drug trigger and all that stuff. So that you should, like, it's still pushing and adding details for the plot. But you're focusing on the characters, and those character moments are super important, especially for a longer series and for a short series as well. But they're crazy important because it gives you something to love or to hate or to latch onto or throw away. So you need to have these moments. So there's nothing wrong with them at all. It's just all the flashbacks. I'm getting really tired. I probably wouldn't be so tired of these flashbacks in this second half of the season because they've actually been really important and good reminders. But having them so much first half of the season was like, this is stupid. But if my biggest complaint of the season is like too many flashbacks, it's not too bad of a complaint in all honesty if you're thinking about anime. Also, I'm curious. All the anime I've watched have been fairly well adapted or fun or whatever, but please comment on what's one of the worst anime adaptations you've ever seen. Or also one of the worst executed animes. That'd be really cool. I don't mean animes also that, like with Fruits Basket, that were finished before the manga finished and then got redone because the manga was done. I mean just poorly executed, like bad effects or bad writing or bad drawing or laziness, or they cut out like really important moments that were needed in the manga but for some reason were cut out in the anime and it affected the plot. So I would love to get an idea of a really bad manga, so just let me know. And maybe, you know, they're gotten better at them. Maybe it's an older manga. I don't know. I don't mean badly dubbed. I mean just like bad. Just like in general, badly written or whatever. Anime adaptation. Anything else to say? A little seal. Okay. Squish. No, that's it. I think I'm gonna hold off. I have to get to some sound euphonium reactions, so I think I'm gonna end it tonight for me with watching videos of My Hero Academia. I have some other things I have to get done. Anything else to do? No, that's it. This was fun. I'm glad that I'm doing this. Again, please let me know what's a good anime to watch. Should I continue with shonen or action-esque anime? And I don't, or should I switch directions? Should I do Haikyuu? Should I go with the sports thing? I've been interested in that. I don't really do sports. I won't have much to say about that. I have more to say with Hibiki Euphonium because I have a music background, but I wouldn't mind doing that once I finish this. Should I do romance instead? Something shorter like Clannad? Just let me know. I would really appreciate some recommendations of some good shows. No, I will not be doing Attack on Titan. I can't with the people eating people thing. It grosses me out. I saw one clip of it when it first came out and I nearly threw up. I just cannot handle the people eating people thing. I just can't. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. I will not be ever doing long form anime like Naruto or One Piece. No, I can't do that. And then I won't be doing Death Note at least anytime soon because I watched it in high school and I remember a lot of the anime, a lot of it. So, and I know how it ends too. So, I won't be watching that. Simply because it would be dishonest. But yeah, give me some recommendations. I really, really appreciate it for those of you who actually watched the entire video that I put on YouTube. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies. Thank you for being patient with this new channel, Bean Sprout Reactions, as we slowly upload material from Brianna C Reacts and kind of get this channel, as of the recording of this video, almost purely anime, and then slowly we're gonna get the live action videos back out. Just give it time. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies, and I'll see you next time.